we are, all connected, all working. Start looking in, and we're gonna get into our practice today. Actually, go ahead, straight, set yourself up for a child pose, because that's where we're gonna start. And as you do so, as you're getting onto the mat, I'll walk you through the theme that we'll be working on, and maybe this is more for you to gently ponder about throughout this practice. Because in the same way you're showing up on the mat every week, right? We are building on this practice, we're keeping this habit, and sometimes it might be something difficult to show up to the mat. And I want you to recognize that almost the same kind of pattern of thoughts that you have when you're getting on the mat, and how sometimes you have to negotiate with yourself and so on. And after time, when you're working on it, you can see how this becomes easier, how the practice changes in your body, how you react to things differently. That work that you put in, it's the same in the other areas of your life when it comes to your professional development, your career, and your business. When we are showing up consistently to do the thing, it compounds over time. So maybe at the very beginning it can be difficult to convince yourself to keep going because you're not getting feedback, you're not seeing results as fast, and you're not feeling that traction, or maybe you would want things to move faster than they are. You would want your customers to respond, you would want more opportunities to show up, and oftentimes you wonder, how long do I have to do it until the effort that I put in bears the fruit, right? And maybe it's about changing that way of thinking, and rather than asking yourself how long, trusting that you need to keep going in that direction that you set yourself. Because even when you think about, when the way we learn new things, it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it's not even 6 months, but we're talking here about years, right? So really think about that, right? In terms of the practice, what we do here, and how we take that mindset also back into our work, into our professional life, and into our businesses, to give ourselves almost that space for that lengthy timeline, not 3 or 6 months, right? 3 or 6 months, it's a time for us to show up and do the work, but the results, that is a longer period. So with that practice is just another puzzle into our bigger piece, to feel our bodies, to get that mobility, find the strength from the body to bring it out into your life and everything that you are working on right now. So that's what we'll be focusing on today, or maybe that's something you can ponder about as we go through this practice, when we ground strongly through this movement that we'll be going through today. So in your child pose, now that you're already there, you can close your eyes. As you know, sometimes you might see that I'm not on the mat, or I'm just going to be walking you through with my voice, and I ask you to trust yourself, to follow the guidance, and also trust your body and trust me. So in your child pose, reach your hands above the head so your palms are touching the mat. And then you take a deep breath down into your belly. And then you exhale. And then 2 more like this, breathing deeply, feeling that air, feeling the belly. And then falling back down. And then 1 more like that. As you breathe here gently, just feel your body in that shape. Your legs, your shins, the tops of your feet touching the ground. Your upper back releasing towards the ground, forehead resting, palms are touching. All those different parts of your body and the connection they have with the mat. When you release everything, it's quite passive how we are arriving here and resting, using the ground and that space to let the body rest. And now let's change that. Push down through your palms into the mat. You're still in your child pose, but this time you're pressing down through your hands. You start pressing down through tops of your feet and your shins, and you feel how, even without moving, your body already becomes active. Now use that push to lift your body up and arrive in your tabletop. Straight away from your tabletop, step to plank. Keep pressing away from the ground and then lift your hips back and up, downward facing dog. Bend and extend through your knees in your downward facing dog. Keep breathing, moving slowly here as you come into this first shape. And then bend your knees and then walk to the top of your mat. When you arrive there, roll it up to standing. We are getting straight into the movement. Inhale, lift your hands up, reach, stretch your butt. Exhale, fold down. 2 more like this. Reach up for the ceiling. And then fold down with the exhale. Reach up for the ceiling. And fold all the way down. Reach up. And then fold. Lift halfway, long gaze down to the ground, flat back. And then fold, hands to the mat, step to plank. Strong plank here, drop the knees, release the feet, bend elbows, chest to the ground. Lift for cobra. And exhale down, stay here. Reach with your hands either side, fingertips on the floor. Inhale, lift your chest and the head. And exhale, back down. 2 more like this. Lift. And back. And 1 more time. Lift. And back. Lift up. And this time right shoulder to the ground. Lift, inhale. And the left shoulder. And then 1 more each time. Inhale. And then back. And 1 more lift. And exhale down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down, hands under the shoulders. Lift your chest off the ground and let's meet in downward facing dog. Bend and extend your legs. Keep breathing. And then with the inhale, lift your right leg up. Keep reaching the right heel up. The leg is extended. And then bend the knee, open the right hip above the left one. Inhale, extend the right leg and step it forward. High lunge. Lift the chest, lift the hands. As you exhale, pull the elbows down. Inhale, lift the hands, extend the legs. Exhale, pull the elbows. Lift up. And pull the elbows down. 2 more like this with the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're gonna inhale, lift. And on the exhale, warrior 2. Keep breathing here. Find your warrior 2, front knee bend over front ankle. Flip the hand, reach forward, inhale. And bring it to peaceful warrior. Take 2 more breaths. Keep lifting your chest, your head up. Front knees bend over the front ankle. And then as you inhale, lift the right hand up. Reach it forward, somewhere reaching to the top of the mat. And then let's rock here. We're gonna aim to lift that back leg. Whoa! Balance, it's a big challenge today. So you can do it with 1 step or maybe a few steps. And you lift the back leg up. You can keep bending into the right knee so that you have the support of your hand on the ground. And otherwise keep rising away from the ground Your right hand can be somewhere reaching on the ground. Left hand is on your lower back. Keep breathing. And then we're going to bend into the knee, drop the hand, and drop the back leg. We're going to slide that leg and release the knee down. Inhale, lift, reach for the ceiling. And exhale, frame the foot. Let's move the hips forward and backwards to release the right glute a little bit after this movement. Notice how you feel in this moment. Those kind of balancing shapes with a little bit of challenge, they tend to be quite awakening, quite refreshing for the mind. So see how it feels for you, how that energy changed after a little bit of movement when we arrived in this space. Let's bring it forward, knee over ankle, lift the back knee, left hand on the ground, reach up for a twist. And then frame the foot, step to plank and move through your vinyasa. We meet in downward facing dog. Take one long breath to the belly and then back out. Maybe even breathing out with the open mouth. And then with the inhale, lift the left leg up, keep that leg extended, keep reaching the heel up, and then bend the knee, open the left hip above the right one. Squeeze your heel into your glutes, keep pressing into the base of your palms to open the chest. And then inhale, extend the left leg, step it forward, and move to high lunge. Hands and chest are lifting up. Pull the elbows down. Inhale, you lift the hands and extend the legs. Exhale, bend the legs, pull the elbows. Inhale up. Exhale, pull. Inhale. And exhale. Two more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Lift. And lift up, and then open to warrior two. Front knee is bent over front ankle. Feel your feet strong on the ground. Keep grounding to the external edges of the feet, and then flip the palm, reach forward. Inhale, bring it to peaceful warrior. Right hand can go behind your back as you keep lifting your chest, lifting the head up, so your upper body pulls you to the back as your front knee bends over the front ankle. And then lift the left hand up and forward, reaching for the top of the mat. Rock here a few times before we move into our balancing shape. And then next time you launch forward, maybe there's a step or the back leg lifts straight away. Keep breathing here. You remember when we were in our three-leg dog, bending the right knee and stacking that hips one above the other. That's the same what our hips are doing here. Right hip above the left one. Front leg can be bent to have the support of the hand on the ground, or you can already keep rising away from the ground. When you lose the balance, you can get back into it. And then we're going to slowly start bending the front leg, dropping the back leg down, and we're going to slide it down until we can drop the knee down. Send the hips forwards and backwards, extending through the front leg, releasing here a little bit through that glute, adding some motion. And then coming forward with the hips, right hand on the ground, lift the back knee and reach the left hand up, find a twist. Squeezing the shoulder blades. And then left hand comes down, step back to plank, and then move through your vinyasa. We meet in down dog. Three breaths in your downward facing dog. You can keep the legs extended this time, grounding the heels to the mat. Pressing into the heels of your palms, opening the chest forwards to your thighs. One more breath, inhale and exhale. And then bend the knees, look to the top of the mat, and then walk or step forward. Inhale, lift halfway, gaze down. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway. And fold. Reach for the ceiling. And exhale, fold. Lift halfway. And fold. Lift up, reach for the ceiling, hands in prayer. Bring them down to heart center and then release. Take few breaths. Your lips are closed and you breathe in and out through your nose. Noticing the pace of your breath. Noticing your heart rate. How you feel in this moment. And what thoughts, if any, are coming to your mind right now. Two more soft breaths like that. And then feel your feet on the ground. You can rock forwards and backwards, noticing how you change the weight of your body between your toes and your heels. And then from side to side, feeling the outer and the inner edges of your feet. And then let's come back to center and move down. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift halfway, gently. And exhale, fold. Step to plank. And then release the whole body down to the ground. Let's come to a Sphinx pose. Forearms on the ground, lifting the chest. Keep breathing here so you're really pressing down through your hips and your pubic bone. Hands and elbows are active, and then bend your right knee. Keep squeezing that heel into your glutes. So we are first doing just actively pulling. Feel the fire in your right thigh. And then reach your right hand and pull that heel into your glute. Pull it to the center. Make sure you're not pulling it outside. And then release the hand. And we're going to roll on the left. The right hand steps behind. Lift the chest. And we come into a seat. Your left foot can be close to your thigh. Both sit bones on the ground. You can rock here to feel it a little bit. And then inhale, lift both of your hands. And then drop them down with the exhale as you drop your chest, bowing forward. Keep dropping the chest. So we want the sit bones to be grounding down as we drop the chest forward. So there's almost that opposite motion of hips pulling, sit bones pulling down, the chest coming forward, and that helps to stretch those lower back muscles. One more breath. And then walk your hands in, lift the chest. And we're going to look over the left shoulder, find the top of your mat with your hands, roll back forward. Hands outside of the mat on the fingertips. Inhale, lift your chest and the head. Exhale, back down. Hands under the shoulders. Bend your left knee. First squeezing that heel to your glute. Feeling that fire in your thigh. Keep pulling it in. Ooh, if you feel that it gets crampy, you can release it. Like it just happened for me. But otherwise, reach with your left hand. I forgot we are here in a Sphinx hands action. And then keep pulling that heel into your thigh. So we are checking in how it feels in the body when we do an active stretch, and then what changes when we do it passively, how different sensations are coming up in the body. And then release the foot, roll to the right side, step the left foot behind you, and then drop that knee down, foot close to your thigh. Inhale, lift both hands. And then drop the chest, drop the hands down, so the sit bones are again pressing down as we drop our chest down. Each side might feel differently when you come to this shape. It's always interesting to pay attention to those changes in each side and think about, what do I need to do differently to have similar sensation? If you feel that one side feels more natural than the other, it's about figuring out what work you need to do to get to that same sensation. Learning from your own experience and your own feelings here. Let's lift the chest. Inhale, lift both hands. And exhale, drop them down, look over the right shoulder, find the front of the mat, and then we roll to the center. Inhale, lift the chest for cobra, and exhale, bow. And then make your way to lay down on the back, however you want to get there. You can roll, you can turn, find your own way to move on the mat to get to lay down. And then soles of the feet are on the ground here, knees are bent, hands are resting either side. Take a breath through your belly. And then release your knees to the right and to the left, moving gently with the breath. You can close your eyes here as you're slowly starting to allow your body for a moment of rest when we start moving slowly. Knees are dropping to one side, and then move it as slow as possible in that journey to the other side. And then bring your knees to center, your feet together, knees wide, opening to a butterfly shape. You can leave your hands to rest either side, or you can bring them down to your belly to feel the movement of the breath. Releasing your knees, allowing them to fall down with the gravity. Now squeezing through glutes. See if you can really relax that space. And then slowly closing your knees back to the center. You can walk your feet as wide as the mat and then allow your knees to fall to the center for a little counter shape. To release those inner muscles of your thighs and your hip flexors a little bit as well. And then go ahead and extend your legs out long. Finding our final resting shape, Shavasana. Press through the back of your head to lift your shoulder blades off the ground, feel them connecting, and then falling back down to the ground. Open the palms to the ceiling. Then let your whole body to let go. Imagine that in the moment when we move and breathe through this practice, decide to feel it because you want to move and you want to direct that movement. But when we come to lie here in stillness, we want to do the exact opposite and decide not to feel. Not to feel your feet, the back of your legs, your hips, your lower back, your shoulder blades and your shoulders. We just stop feeling it. And choosing just to be present in this moment without any sensation, finding that peace and rest. Then let's come back to feeling, to breathing, taking longer breath down into your belly and then out. And then one more like this. And then out. Move your fingers and your toes, awakening your body. And then reach your hands up all the way above the head. Stretching, pointing and flexing your feet. And then slide your hands back down either side. Roll over to the right and take a moment there. Just to notice all the shifts that happened throughout this practice. What it was like before you arrived here. What thoughts were in your mind and what comes up now. After this moment of movement, of breath, of being present with just feeling. And slowly make your way back to seated, where we're going to close this practice together. Bring your hands to your chest, feeling the heartbeat, feeling yourself, and then bow your head down. Thank you so much for joining today, for sharing your time, and taking that moment out of your day to reflect on the mat, on what's happening around you in your professional life, and in this moment where you land here when we come all together. Thank you again for joining. You can release your hands and open your eyes. Thank you so much, guys, for coming again. I really hope you enjoyed the practice. Do let me know what thoughts, what reflections came to you, and I'll always find a way how we can use that in the next practice, what themes we can discover. And I really hope that you can take something back or even come back to this practice when I put it back online for you, to find those little connections of, the progress and the building, how we are showing up every day in our lives, and how that practice helps us alongside to build that confidence, the habit, the strength, and mainly that commitment to ourselves when we come to the mat, when we practice.